way here. We're not even going to do the big Georgie open for the show. We're going to jump right on into it. We're going to talk about the Pat Riley press conference, obviously. Yes. We're going to talk about the Dolphins draft today. Obviously, the John Eric Sullivan first draft is complete.
I love it.
And I want to talk about that. The NBA, NHL playoffs have delivered. We can talk about that. Today is also National Prime Rib Day. And I know everybody's thinking about Pat Riley right now. I do want to talk about prime rib today because it's one of the worst dishes that is served anywhere. Any function, any country club. I hate prime rib. I think it's disgusting.
It's delicious beef.
It's disgusting, bloody, raw. Everybody loves their prime rib, like just dripping and bright red. It's disgusting.
You didn't run this past me. I love prime rib.
I know everyone does. I'm of the belief that prime rib is kind of like Girl Scout cookies. Everyone is kind of, told that they have to love prime rib. If there's a prime rib carving station, it's the greatest thing to ever happen to a function. And it's no good. No good.
It's like eating beef butter. You don't like beef butter? Just fall. You don't have to chew. You just let it just rub on your tongue.
Nope. Don't like it. Anyway, we'll get to it. Solana's on his way back to the studio right now. He was at the Pat Riley press conference. I have to say, I thought Solana's question was top 4 question asked of Riley during the entire press conference. I heard numerous questions from Ira, from Anthony Chang, Tim Reynolds, Ethan Skolnick, Brendan Tobin. Solana had the final question, and I thought it was a very good question, which is, does games played come into consideration when you're targeting people? And he said, first thing I look at.
Yeah.
Which then has to make you wonder, does Kawhi interest him? Does Giannis interest him? Like, now you extrapolate it out. If that's the first thing Pat Riley looks at, then you kind of extrapolate that he wouldn't give up a ton for guys who don't have a track record of playing a lot of games.
Giannis isn't a low management guy, but Kawhi is, Hawk. You know what I'm saying? That's what Giannis
injured,
wants to play.
Yes.
Giannis wants to play.
Has a propensity to be injured, though.
Yeah.
Lately.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the thing. I love it, though, because if you're not available, you can't help us. I loved Riley's answer to that last question. And Solana asked it, which I'm not going to tell him when he gets on, but I did enjoy that question.
Brendan Tobin's going to join us this hour. He was there as well. I want to talk to him about the Heat, the Pat Riley press conference, and the Dolphins draft, because Tobin's really good to bounce this stuff off of. But Tobin's take was Solana just cost us Giannis and Ja. I think it just gave us a little bit of insight. Look at that. Leroy Horde agreeing with me. Prime rib is disgusting.
I don't think Leroy knows anything.
Yes,
about all this.
Leroy and I, we did the meat happy hour in Vegas. You're the one who didn't even eat any of the red meat at the meat happy hour. Leroy and I know. You get a nice cut, get a nice fillet. The notion of this loosey-goosey, drippy prime rib. Everybody, they have prime rib. Oh, I don't understand the love affair with this crappy little, paper-thin, bloody piece of meat.
Yeah. Meat happy hour is the person I'm going to listen to.
Yeah. No, yeah, the guy who opted out of meat happy hour. That's the guy I'm going to listen to.
I need entree. I like entrees.
But you didn't have any meat.
I was a vegan at the time.
Yeah, that's who we're going to listen to on Prime Rib. The vegan at the time guy.
I ate the chicken wings last night.
The Eagles are bringing their Long Goodbye Act 3 tour to Hard Rock Live May 13th. We have tickets every day this week to give away. So today, your chance will come at 3:20. 3:20 this afternoon, we will give away a pair of Eagles tickets at Hard Rock Live May 13th. If you can't wait to win, you could purchase tickets at casino.hardrock.com/Hollywood. Just go to the events page. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. Your headlines, very generic, because we'll get into it because we're catching up for lost time here because we started late because of the Riley press conference. Pat Riley had the end-of-season press conference. He made it very clear at the beginning, his opening statement, I am not retiring. I am not going anywhere. He said later on, I enjoy this. I like what I'm doing. He did not waver on his methodology. He is not interested in tanking. He is interested in competing. Period. End of story. He said he'll take the play-in over a lottery pick any day of the week. Mm-hmm. And he did say that they'd be looking to make moves this offseason. And we'll kind of dive into it deeper with Brendan Tobin and Solana when he gets here later on. The NFL draft is over. We know all the Dolphins draft picks. Not one of them was a Miami Hurricane. There is some anger from Hurricanes Nation that there's not silly. One Hurricane.
It's silly.
Well,
there's 200 colleges in the nation. Why do you have to pick a cane?
You don't have to, but there were plenty of good canes available.
But I think you're pigeonholing yourself. That uproar, I think, is real silly out of everybody.
When there's good players available who you've watched and had success and other teams are taking them, it's a fair question. Why avoid the Miami Hurricanes?
Hulk, the best player available, the team needs. You have to be so myopic to say, take a cane because I know him. There can be a guy that plays at USC, Washington, Texas, Notre Dame. That's a better fit for the team. That it's just it's very closed-minded, I think.
Well, I don't think it's closed-minded. We watch these guys and we root for them. And when there's a player available who we feel meets our draft needs, now that happens though when it's not Hurricanes. You can have the conversation about not picking a certain player when they took a certain player. It's not off limits to question why didn't they take so-and-so and why did they take so-and-so.
Oh, no, 100%. I understand what you're saying, but to think that there's a professional team in the same city as a college team, we got to pick the guy from our college team. I think it's goofy. I think it's silly to get mad about that. Now we'll see, because you know, I'm about to buy a Ruben Bain Tampa Bay Buccaneers jersey. I love Ruben Bain. Ruben Bain's about to destroy the NFL. That was the one that upset me. But Keontae Scott, like, we don't have to draft him. Let's go find another DB that can fit that mold that we're looking for with John Eric Sullivan.
But you don't have to, is my point, if you think he's a good DB. In other words, if we've watched him and I'm intimately familiar with his game because we've watched him, that's a guy. Now, does John Eric Sullivan know more than me? Sure. But Hurricanes fans, these are the guys we're exposed to on a weekly basis. So we're going to talk about guys who we've been exposed to. But I don't think that's anything but fandom. That's part of the fun of being a fan is you want to see the guys that you root for go to the team that you root for in the NFL.
Every Hall of Fame Dolphin is not from Miami. Every single one of them.
But there are plenty of Hall of Fame football players from Miami.
Who do you love as a Dolphin? Dan Marino?
No. What I'm saying is, if you're going to play that end, then I can go, well, Ray Lewis is a Miami Hurricane and a Hall of Famer. Frank Gore is a Hall of Famer. He's a Miami Hurricane. I could neuter that argument.
No. But Miami is one city. There's 700 cities around the nation. You see what I'm saying? Like, to find a Hurricane that is also going to be a Hall of Famer is harder than to find a great football player.
Right. I get it. There's no debate there. It's just fun when the Hurricanes get drafted by the team that you root for. Yeah. Period. End of story.
Olivier Vernon, you texted him when he made $72 million.
Olivier Vernon, we've had a number of them. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. I'm just saying there were a lot of Hurricanes drafted in the NFL draft. None of them went to the Miami Dolphins. That's an inarguable fact.
Oh, it's not. Andre Johnson's the one that always gets me. Because Andre Johnson gave me hell. He scored 3 touchdowns on me in Houston one year. And I was like, Coach, stop putting me in this situation. You're making me look bad. My mom's here.
Anyway, we will talk about the Dolphins draft, and we'll talk about the NBA playoffs, which kick up tonight. Again, it has been a fantastic NBA and NHL playoffs, really, to be quite honest. And Leroy Horde pointing out, you weren't even a real vegan. You were a pescatarian. It was just a terrible, terrible look
Leroy,
by you. When we went to the meat happy hour, it was just a terrible look by you.
Meet me in the produce section at Publix on Flamingo, and we'll talk about this.
Meet me at the Hampton Inn. It is 85 degrees and sunny in Miami right now. It is a gorgeous April day. Going to be mostly sunny throughout the remainder of the afternoon. Lows tonight are going to be in the mid to lower 70s, believe it or not. And tomorrow, another bright and sunny day in Miami. That weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, helping keep your home and family safe when the storms roll in. Visit tornadoroofing.com for your free roof and window estimate. All right, it's a Monday. We're going to talk Dolphins. We're going to talk Pat Riley, and we're going to talk NBA and prime rib on National Prime Rib Day. We're going to take a break. Brendan Tobin is going to join us in the next segment, and we'll talk the Pat Riley press conference with him and the Dolphins draft with him as well. So do not go anywhere. Brendan Tobin is next.
Is your garage door outdated, damaged, or just not hurricane ready? You know hurricane season's coming. It's about to be the summer. Don't wait. You got to call Allied Doors. Serving South Florida since 1966. That's 60 years of trusted family-owned service. They are the best. Yeah, I know I don't want to call you out, but you might be the house that has a beautiful home, keeps your yard well kept, but your garage door is bringing down the property value. Don't be that person with that terrible garage door. Called Allied Doors. Huge in-stock inventory. Same-day service is available. Custom impact-rated doors built to protect and upgrade your home fast. Plus, the industry-leading LiftMaster openers. If you haven't had a LiftMaster opener, I know I was a part of those non-LiftMaster sides where it takes 45 minutes for your garage door to open. It makes all that noise. Check these LiftMasters out. They are quiet. They are amazing. They lift the door up fast. You have to check out LiftMaster openers. They are built to perform. Our personal house, we have LiftMasters, and we use Allied Doors. We have investment properties. We use Allied Doors. You have to have the best, and Allied Doors is the best. Call 954-942-8550 and visit allied-doors.com. That's allied-doors.com. Mention this ad and you get $300 off. Don't wait. Hurricane season's coming. Man, upgrade your home. Upgrade your investment property. Call Allied Doors today.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
I'm not a football guy, you know that, but I read Bill Walsh's book. Do you remember? You know the book?
I can't read, Coach.
All right, Brendan Tobin is going to join us on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. First, I want to remind everybody, Whiskey Stars and Cigars, presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall, is back Friday, May 8th. Come on out. The entire staff will be there except me, but the entire staff besides me will be at Tabacón Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. Come out, enjoy nice Scotch whiskey from Johnny Walker and a smooth cigar from Drew Estate. The event is free. Just stop on by. You can get all the info at WQAM.com. Got to be 21 or older. It begins at 6 p.m. on May 8th. Tabacón Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. Whiskey Stars and Cigars presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. 4 brands, 1 location, your local Cadillac, Buick, GMC, and Chevy dealer. Brendan Tobin not only hosts middays on this station, but he's got a very successful YouTube channel devoted to the Miami Heat, and he hosts our station's Dolphins pregame show. So on a day like today, where we've got 2 very big stories, grading the Dolphins draft and reacting to Riley's end-of-season press conference, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk to Brendan Tobin. And I imagine, it's just my guess, on National Prime Rib Day, although I am hearing from people who don't like prime rib. It's very heartwarming to find out that there are people who also do not like prime rib. Leroy Horde does not like prime rib. Dr. Chuck does not like prime rib. And I'm guessing Tobin loves it, though. He seems like a prime rib guy. You love prime rib,
Tobin?
Tobin?
He is, testosterone-filled man. That's who likes prime rib.
I mean, if they're serving prime rib, I'll have prime rib. It's not, it's like Simone Fontecchio, maybe on a heater off the bench, but I'm not choosing prime rib as like a number one.
There you go. I'm taking that as a dub. Yeah, all these people that get so excited about prime rib, they're like, oh, they've got a prime rib station. It's like, hey, settle down and maybe somebody bring me a filet.
Under the light? Under that heating lamp, and they cut it for you there?
That's how you like your meat, under a heating lamp. Oh, very excited. Now I don't care what anything else Tobin has to say.
Goodness gracious. Tobes, how you going to do this to me, Tobes?
I'm sorry, Crowder. And the guy always has an attitude as a carving station. He's giving it to you. He's not happy about cutting that meat for you.
Yeah, it's too bloody. The whole thing's a mess. Yeah, and everything else on your plate gets soaked in that water blood that comes off the thing.
I love a good water blood salad.
Yeah, I end up with a water blood roll because of this damn piece of prime rib. It's disgusting. All right, Tobin, you were at the Pat Riley press conference. What's your initial takeaways from it? Was there anything he could have said today that was going to satiate you?
I don't think so. I definitely came away with that. I guess the one thing that I thought was the most firm is they love Bam Adebayo, and everybody else is kind of in a bag. The young guys seem like they're all in pretty good standing, except for maybe Jovic, who he said he brought in for an exit meeting and explained how he had him as a starter. But I also think, even Pat Riley's like us, like he thought maybe they should have invested a little bit more on the Bam Kalel thing and sticking through it with the young guys. So that was interesting to me. But as far as like any big premonitions about who's coming here in the future, not too much. The only thing I would say that was interesting, he at one point said that, we were really on the brink. So it felt like I felt like that was alluded to. They thought they were pretty close to maybe getting Giannis at the deadline, but he didn't go as far as to say that. But no big picture stuff really, gave me the goosies today.
And so, is there any whale hunting? Was there any whale hunting conversations? Because we know what Pat likes to do. Pat doesn't like this development stuff, man. Pat wants to go get a monster and go win a championship. Was there any of that where we can look in the future and say this is the goal? Because honestly, I don't know if he's too old, but Pat doesn't want to sit and see Kalel Ware in 5 years. Pat needs to win now. He always wanted to win now.
Yeah, I think that the thing I got is he's still very sick of players who don't play games, not playing games. So I think anybody who had that issue this year is definitely probably got to be looking over their shoulder. It's why he's probably got so much respect for Bam Adebayo. But I don't think so, Crowder, as far as like, did he say like he believes in himself to get it done? He's out there and saying, we still believe we can make that happen and that the moves can be there. He talked a lot about the cap space availability coming up in a couple of years, but that is a bit of an antiquated way. Like, no one's really doing it. And so even though the Spidas, the Jokers, they're all theoretically going to be free agents, the problem is none of these guys get there because usually the organizations that have them are giving them a Brinks truck deal. And they're like, am I going to give up $300 million guaranteed? Probably not.
By the way, he said, I wish I had never used the term whale many years ago because everyone keeps regurgitating that. And I thought that was a little shade towards you, Tobin.
Well, don't say awesome things and people won't repeat it.
Isn't that how you win, though? You got to have a whale. You have to have a monster.
But the problem is when you set the barometer for yourself as a whale hunter, no one's ever satisfied if you go fishing and don't come back with a whale. Yeah. And I don't know if you know, but I happen to have whaled in my life. It is very difficult to reel in one of these whales.
Yeah, Wiggs is a walleye, not a whale.
Well, that's the thing. It's like Norman Powell, to me, not a bad signing. He was talking about Andrew Wiggins, like not a bad signing. Those aren't whales, though. And so right. I think he regrets using that term because that's what he's judged by, and he's tired of that. And there's a guy on this radio station who is constantly feeding the whale narrative. The guy might be on the phone right now.
I mean, some may say that's holding somebody accountable to something that he threw out there. So if I'm going to be looking for whales, I'm just supposed to stop. Then he might even get even lazier at making moves. So
you're suggesting he's lazy. How dare you, Tobin?
I'm just saying, if I just stop, like, all right, I'll take Davion Mitchell. Like, he's sitting here being like, Davion Mitchell was 6'11". Yeah, but he's not, though, Pat. Like, I love Davion Mitchell, too. We all do. He's a dog, but he's not going to grow into Scotty Barnes. I'm sorry.
So the thing that I took away from it, among other things, but one of the things that I took away from it was he is not wavering off his principles, which is players should be out there playing and everyone should be competing a team for 82 games and then 84 games if you're in the play-in, and then 86 games plus if you get past the play-in. He is not deviating from what made him the Godfather, Tobin, even though maybe the trade rules and the free agency stuff is changing and the league mentality is changing. He was pretty adamant today, right? He is not changing the way he views what a successful season is and what it entails.
Yeah, I think it was on the season part, he was saying, like, we're going to always compete. So he put the flag in the ground that we're never going to be a tanking team. That was the only thing that he said. He had very certain things. He said that I'm not retiring or resigning unless they make me tank. And he says, I'm never trading Bam unless they give me Wembanyama and 8 picks. So they're two big caveats that Pat's putting out there. But look, he hates guys who miss games. I think if anybody probably came away today a little bit nervous about their Heat future, it probably would be Tyler Hero because he continues to miss games. There was news today that he got a procedure. I'm like, again, on the other foot. So I think that's probably the thing that frustrates the most because, it was an issue. It was not only that the continuity was a problem, but specifically Norman Powell and Tyler Hero never playing together. And when they did, it just was like two strangers. The team couldn't get in. It messed up Pelle Larsson. It messed up Jaime Jaquez because then one of them had to go to the bench or had to welcome one of them onto the bench. So that kind of messes up shots and roll. And so I think that they're going to have to take a big look at, like, who do they really think they can count on next year to be available for 70 games with Bam Adebayo and help make a run at it. Does it really make him a contender without a seismic move? I don't think so. I mean, they're going to have to do something really meaningful to make that happen. But I can see the argument if you had more consistency with one of the two out there, maybe you squeeze out a couple more games.
And Tobes, any surprises today that you heard? Because to your point, he called out Tyler Hero a year ago. He said Tyler and Jimmy have to play more games. Like he's criticized that. That's one of his things is that he needs players that can play, which makes perfect sense. He was like 75 to 82 games. You have to be out there. anything surprising? Because Pat's been down here a long time. We've heard a lot of end of, State of the Union addresses out of Pat Riley. Anything surprising today?
I think the surprising thing was that he also wants to see some of the young guys seemingly stick it out, because he's always been an anti-young guy. That he even joked about that today. He goes, "I'm not a guy who likes playing the young guys," and that there has been a shift because they've gotten much better at drafting. And I do think that even he, was like, "Hey, if things aren't going well, you kind of got to stick it out with young guys." So it wasn't a shot at Eric Spoelstra, but it definitely felt like a conversation that are happening between him and Spo about like, hey, if we have Khalil and Bam and that works better and the league is getting bigger, you can't deviate from that. Like, you're going to have to ride through some things with the young guys for the betterment of the organization or the betterment of the team ultimately. So that was probably the most surprising, just because, it is a little bit of what seems like a disagreement of what his head coach was doing. But I agree with him. I think that is for the betterment of the organization if they go that way.
All right, the other thing I want to talk to Tobin about is the Dolphins draft, since you host the Game Day Uncensored show on this station. Your takeaways from the John Eric Sullivan first ever draft as Dolphins GM.
Dude loves Texas. I mean, like, he's like, why didn't I take Ruben Bain? Because he's not from Texas. I think Jacob Rodriguez has a wonderful mustache. I think,
great mustache.
It reminds me, so that's great.
Best mustache since Wanstead?
Yeah. I mean, it's like Zonka with a side of Bo Camper, but it's pretty strong. It's a strong mustache. And so I'm excited about that pick, especially because that was probably going to be a thing where it was like, oh, he's the next Zach Thomas, but I didn't know Zach, like, he's got the Zach Thomas stamp of approval. I'm like, well, that's much different. Like, we don't even have to force this thing. So that was pretty cool. I hope that he ends up, working things out. It wasn't exactly a position of need, but I do think that he was a very coveted player at that point. And yeah, the guy really, it's funny to me how opposite it is of the last regime, because he's very forceful. Everything's on his terms, and he definitely wants, bigger players. Like, this is not a wee man's game. He's saying it's a big person game, and so they're taking big receivers, giant offensive linemen. And so that definitely stood out with it. But, I think it was a solid draft. It wasn't like the most exciting thing in the world, but I wasn't truly expecting that, especially after the Ruben Bain thing happened.
Y'all just gave me PTSD because I had to replace Zach Thomas, and I made it clear that I'm not replacing Zach Thomas. Now I'm just playing middle linebacker for the Dolphins. Like, don't put me in that category, so don't put that on Rodriguez. But do you like the approach? My take on this draft is it was so obvious. 6'6", 6 foot, 6'1", 6'3", 6'5", 6'1", 6'2". They did not like the approach of the track meet, Tobes. They wanted to get some big human beings in this building.
Yeah, and even the guys who aren't, like, even if you look at Malik Willis, who's not big, he's the opposite of Tua. Big arms, super fast. So, like, all of these guys feel opposite Crowder of what was the last regime, which is exactly what you want. A defensive coach instead of an offensive quote-unquote guru. You had a Mr. Friendly GM who wants to help everybody. No, I'm the guy who's going to do whatever the hell he wants. So, it definitely feels like they are trying to change the tone of the organization and all that. I think from my standpoint, looking at, some of the picks, I'm no Mel Kiper. I'm not, like, once the first round's over, I'm kind of like, wherever the chips fall, I'm not looking for day three players. I got other things to do. So, everybody's saying they reached for the Texas Tech guy. I don't know. Hopefully the guy's good. I was excited about the Chris Bell pick because he really killed the Canes, and I'm into them, stashing them away if you get that talent. But overall, I think, he set out what he said he was going to do. And certainly the size of his draftees, especially the early ones, definitely stood out.
So just to reiterate, and Brendan Tobin, you can hear him every midday, weekdays on this radio station. Just to reiterate, you're not one of these guys who sees prime rib carving station and goes, oh my God, I can't wait to get to this function.
No. If that's my option, I'm not like sad. I'm like, all right, I'll do prime rib tonight. But it's like Burke Badenhop. It's not it's your long reliever. It is not
Great call.
It is not a go-to.
Oh goodness!
Great call. Great call. He's right. Prime
Just-
rib is Burt Badenhop. What would a fillet be? What would a pasta station be?
Oh, that's Sandman. Like that's Sandy Alcantara.
Right.
Like that's
Right.
that's excellence.
Yeah. Yeah. You understand what we're saying, Crowder?
Prime rib is Mariano Rivera.
No, it's the hopper.
No.
Tobin's totally right on this. It's the hopper.
Yeah, maybe Jeff Nelson if it's done right. Crowder, like a very solid setup, man. Maybe.
We'll see you, Tobin.
Yes.
There you go. Brendan Tobin with super insight on Riley, the Dolphins, and Prime Rib. Oh, I'm so excited to have an ally in the and Prime Rib is just it's just this weird hypnotic trance people fall into
with the horseradish sauce, with the little white sauce.
That's my argument with the sweet potato fries and the marshmallow sauce. Now all of a sudden you need horseradish sauce. That's what you have to do to gefilte fish. Gefilte fish on its own, it's vile. You put some horseradish on it, it's less vile. It's not even great. The same thing with the prime rib. It's like, you know what you're trying to do? You're trying to paint away the blood water with the white sauce over it so you don't have to see all the blood water.
I'll eat a possum with horseradish sauce on it. That sauce is so good.
All right, we'll take a break here. Don't go anywhere on this very exciting Monday.
Anniversaries are special, and right now, my friends at Ed Morris, they're celebrating, listen to this, 80 years in business. That is amazing. 80 years, you know what you're doing now. You don't get lucky for 80 years. My friends over there, my buddy Chris Atkins, he's the GM. Teddy Morris, you see him on the commercials, and they're an amazing team. They put together a great team at Ed Morris. They are celebrating 80 years in the Ed Morris Sawgrass Cadillac. They're commemorating the occasion by giving you special savings on Cadillac Luxury. You got to check out the all-electric Cadillacs. I'm telling you, these cars are beautiful. Go look at the all-electric 2026 Cadillac Optic, and you can get into that drive at home for just $349 a month. Or Ed Morris is giving you the 2025 Cadillac Lyrics, and that's just $369 a month. So under $400, you can have a beautiful all-electric Cadillac. Go check them both out. I'm guaranteeing you're going to love one of them. Get you one. Ed Morris has been family-owned and operated for 80 years. They know what they're doing, and they always watch out for their customers. You know, I tell y'all all the time, my entire driveway is backed by Morris. Don't miss out on 80-year anniversary at Ed Morris Sawgrass Cadillac. Go see my friends. They're the 6-time dealer of the year off Sunrise Boulevard and the Sawgrass Expressway. Visit EdMorrisSawgrassCadillac.com. And remember, you're always backed by Morris. From the trade-in to the lease to the sale to the service department to anybody over there, they're going to watch out for you, man. I'm telling you, being backed by Morris is something special. Click EdMorrisSawgrassCadillac.com.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
And that's
We back at it with this daddy, Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. 305, cafecito time, dame una colada. Got some interviews next, always got dope guests. Get the cesspool live, dropping comments and likes. We about to get right, talking sports, my G. Listen to Odyssey and 104.3. Live and back on GeorgiaMusic.com. Hitting it at the park like a mad murder's bomb off power. Get ready for the 3 o'clock hour. Get ready for the 3 o'clock hour. Get ready for the 3 o'clock hour. Get ready for that 3 o'clock.
Let's do this.
Ready for that 3 o'clock.
Big Monday. Solana's back in studio. He asked, I don't know if you heard us talking about it. He asked maybe top 3 question of Pat Riley today. What a difference a year makes.
I don't know if it was the dummy mistake, but Solana, you had one at the end, brother.
Do you remember what happened at last year's Pat Riley season-ending press conference?
I don't, but we didn't praise him, I'm sure.
We were at Whiskey Stars and Cigars, and I almost got into a fist fight with Solana because I was so hard on him for preparing one question. Remember, he didn't ask a question, and then I said, and he's like, someone asked my question, and I did that whole routine about what you prepare, and I just went overboard.
And I ran off.
As I'm known to, yeah, and Jimmy ran off because it was very heated. Because somebody even put, when I was talking about prime rib with Tobin there, 2 things could be right. Prime rib is overrated. Also, nobody beats a dead horse like Hochman. And I may have done that last year at the Pat Riley press conference, beating Solana over the head with a prime rib like take about not having enough questions prepared. What a difference a year makes. Solana, I think you had a top 3 question. I think Pat Riley gave us a little insight as to what he might feel about giving up significant stuff in return for a Kawhi or a Giannis or a Ja. I thought it was a very, very good question by you.
I'm with you on the prime rib take. I want to get that out of the way.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to be Mr. Meat Guy for sure.
No, I'm with you 100%. 2, I almost did fight you, and I still have my resume prepared the following day. I went home and I put my resume in, and then you put my name on the show, and I didn't even get to apply anywhere else. But that was the closest I've ever been to quitting a job, that conversation. 3, I genuinely think nothing bothers Pat Riley more than players missing games. Nothing
It was
bothers
very
me more.
evident today.
Mr. 305.
Dale.
God bless. Dale.
Dale.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Por nada.
305 is brought to you by Miami Lakes Chevrolet, where you walk in as a customer and drive out as family. By the way, we are 15 minutes away from giving away a pair of Eagles tickets today. Today's pair is going to be given away at 3:20. The Eagles are bringing their Long Goodbye Act 3 tour to Hard Rock Live May 13th. We've got a pair of tickets every day this week. And again, the first pair comes today at 3:20. If you can't wait to win, purchase your tickets at casino.hardrock.com/Hollywood. Just go to the events page. Yeah, I thought it was very clear in the press conference today. Pat Riley places a massive premium on being available. He said it's one of the reasons that he loves Bam, and I believe that's one of the reasons that Bam is completely untouchable.
But also, when I heard it, and it's a lot of great question again, bro. When I heard it, I looked at D Wade. D Wade played 70 games like 10 times. 77, 79. Wade was out there. So the star, the best player in Heat history, was on the court, and that was a Riley signing. That was a Riley draft. Does he have to adjust to the new age of NBA? Because
That's a
these
separate
dudes don't want to
question.
play.
That's the separate question. He's not. Now, whether he needs to is a separate question, but he was clear today. He is not buying into load management. He is not buying into, hey, it's better off to have a higher lottery pick than to be a play-in team. He is not buying into any of the new way of thinking when it comes to the NBA. Your question is a question that's going to be debated amongst Heat fans ad nauseum until the next season starts. And if they don't have a whale, the discussion will continue. But he was so clear today. He is not, I mean, not one iota is he moving off what he believes creates a winning franchise. Having players available, competing 82 games a year, and feeling grateful if you get to play 84 instead of 82.
And I think the big question, because there's a lot of follow-ups that I have in terms of, okay, he weighs availability over anything else when acquiring potentially another player, right? Well, that matters if your team needs that star player to compete, because Jimmy Butler in 2022, the season the Heat were the 1 seed, that's the year that they lost in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Jimmy bricked the 3 that would have won them that game, would have put them in the finals. He only played 52 games that season, or 57 games that season, but the Heat were still good enough as a team around him to be the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Was anybody complaining that year that Jimmy Butler didn't play games? Were the Heat as frustrated with Jimmy Butler that year? No, because the team was still good. The problem is, right now, the Miami Heat are not good enough to not have their best player, their talent out there and continue to compete. That's a bigger issue and a bigger question as well, because if you do get rid of the guys Riley kept kind of putting together, the young, talented players, well, guess what? You're going to need your star player to be out there. And does that eliminate Kawhi Leonard from the conversation? Does that eliminate John Morant and Giannis Antetokounmpo? It might. It really might. And as far as, his way of thinking with how they should be approaching every season, which he flat out said it, like, I'm not tanking. That's not the way I do it. He even joked, the day that they tell me we're tanking, that's the day I quit. He made that joke. I wonder how aligned everybody in that building is with that way of thinking. I just wonder. I'm not saying that they're not aligned, because it sounds like they are. But Pat Riley clearly wants to go make the acquisition this summer and go get the whale, or not the whale. Doesn't want to use the term whale, but go get the player. Right. Go. He wants to. I mean, that's obvious. Like, I came away from that thinking even stronger. Like, yeah, they're going to be active in the trade market, obviously. But is it worth it if that move doesn't put you in the conversation with the OKCs and with the San Antonios, if you're literally giving up 3 first-round picks into 2030 and 2032? Does Nick Harrison feel aligned with that vision? Does Eric Spoelstra feel aligned with that vision? In other words, sacrificing 5-6 years down the line your draft capital to go get a Giannis now? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I think everybody's aligned, because I think everybody just wants to get back to winning. But again, I don't know. Could that be why they didn't trade for Durant last summer? Could that be why maybe they couldn't get the Giannis deal done? Because some of the other decision makers, some of the other people with a seat at the table don't want to sacrifice long-term post-Riley, because they see a different vision. They have a different course.
But to that point, you bring up OKC, you bring up San Antonio. Go Knicks. We can go Boston. Built or bought. Built or bought, because the teams I just said, they were all built. They were all built. They weren't bought. They weren't whale hunting, and that's what Riley's good at.
I don't know that. I don't know if that's true. Okay, yes, Boston,
San Antonio, all draft picks.
Right, but San Antonio,
SGA, and them all draft picks.
No, they're not. They traded for SGA. SGA was on the Clippers.
Remember,
and
OKC, I mean, leveraged everything to get draft picks.
They lucked.
And San Antonio had one of the longest runs of being a futile team in the NBA in order to get that draft pick, and that's something that Riley refuses to do.
And they traded for De'Aaron Fox, who's their second best player or starter on that team. It's not like every player on their squads are players that they drafted. Also, yeah, they were really bad for 5 years. We've gone through this already. Like,
I mean, they had like 14 and 15 win seasons, if I remember.
San Antonio for 5 seasons was bad. And by the way, like, I don't blame them. But yeah, I mean, that's one way to go about it. It was very clear to me that Pat Riley, and he said it, I'm not tanking. It was very clear to me that they don't want to go down that path while he's there, and that they'd rather remain flexible, which is what they're doing, and try to be in conversations for major acquisitions, whether it's this offseason, whether it's next offseason. He talked about 2027, the summer of 2027, and how they'll be flexible for that as well.
But what I got from him, based off your question, was I don't think he'd have any problem obtaining Kawhi, Ja, Giannis, but the price is going to matter to him.
Right.
Because if the first thing he looks at is games played, he's not giving up 3 firsts for Kawhi. Now, if someone just wants to get him off the books, he'll facilitate it because he likes a player like that. But he told Solana and everyone flat out the thing he values most. Obviously, if it's the first thing you look at, the thing you value most is availability. And he said that before, by the way, but he was as adamant about it today as I've ever heard him, really based on Solana's question when he said, it's the first thing I look at. It was interesting.
By the way, going back to numerous debates we've had about Bam Adebayo, whether or not the Heat consider him untouchable, he told you, no, we're not trading him. The only way, he said, and it was a joke, obviously, was if he got 8 picks and Wembanya, which is what he called Victor Wembanyama. He called him Wembanya.
Came close.
And you guys mocked me.
He's
you guys
80.
mocked
He's 80.
me. When,
He's
when
80
when
years
I said,
old.
81. How dare you?
You guys mocked me when I said the only player that the Miami Heat, the only players, plural, that the Heat would consider would be the top, literally the top 5 players in the league. That's how they view Bam Adebayo. Whether or not that's the right way to go about it was not the conversation. I just told you that's how the Heat viewed Bam Adebayo from the very beginning. They are not moving the guy that they proclaim the next culture bearer, that they handed the torch to after Udonis Haslem, that they view him at that echelon of player, and that the only way they're moving him would be for the Jokers and the Victor Wembanyamas. And you guys mocked me from here to the end of the effing world. Oh, you think they view Bam as and he just told you flat out,
he did not.
We're not considering trading Bam Adebayo because that is how it is internally there.
My whole offseason was Bam and them. My whole offseason. You remember that phrase? Bam and them. It's Bam and whoever they bring in. But Bam can't be a 1. Bam's not a 1.
And they're not calling him a 1.
We have to have a better player than Bam offensively so that whoever, blank and Bam, that was the whole point that we were getting at this whole offseason before this season started.
And he never called him a 1. And I don't believe that they believe Bam Adebayo can be the best player on your team. But what he did say was, we want to build this thing around Bam. And that's how they view him, a centerpiece to a title contending roster. They want to put a superstar, a high level player around Bam. They'll never trade Bam Adebayo. And that's all I'm pointing out, that we debated this several times.
Solana, y'all tickled my pickle with Donovan Mitchell last week. Donovan Mitchell is the 1, Bam is the 2. That's a team that I can get behind. But it has to be Bam and them. We didn't say we don't want Bam. We said that we need Bam, but we need a higher player and we need other people.
I don't think we ever debated how the Heat view Bam. I thought it was how we view Bam.
No, we had conversations, and I remember one specifically where I mentioned Joker in that conversation. And again, I'm not trying to turn this
that's
into
ridiculous, though. He would trade Bam for Joker in a heartbeat.
My point is, we've had the conversation of how they view Bam, and I had pointed out several times their entire philosophy is to put a talented team around Bam Adebayo.
Right, but I think the debate was, do we believe that that's the right approach? I don't think we were ever debate. I mean, the Heat's been pretty clear that they're not interested in moving Bam. I thought maybe Bam would request to be moved. I don't think we've ever really debated that the Heat wanted to build around him. It was just, is that the wisest thing to do? I mean, it hasn't worked in the last 4 seasons. They've
It
been
hasn't,
playing.
and that's a good conversation. Like that's a fair conversation to have. But I just know, like, we've talked about whether or not they should consider trading Bam, and I was flat out on this show telling you guys that, like, it's not a conversation. They're not trading Bam and
Right,
Adebayo.
but the conversation is whether they should have that conversation. It's
Right.
not whether they
Yeah,
believe. It's obvious they don't want to move on. They're not moving on from him, period. I mean, he couldn't have been clearer today about calling him the standard bearer for Heat culture. Like, he could not have been more clear today.
And is that a good approach to have a standard culture guy, but not figure out how to build a roster that can win a championship?
And it was Barry who asked the question. He pointed to the 3 teams who have traded some of their centerpieces. Toronto with Pascal Siakam. He mentioned Indiana with Sabonis. There's one other team that I'm missing as well. And he asked Barry, like, list those players. And he said, yeah, they're not Bam. Trey Young and the Atlanta Hawks. He's like, yeah, those guys aren't Bam Adebayo. They view
He was
him
very
as
complimentary
a
today towards Bam. I mean, like, crazy complimentary to Bam. Also very complimentary to Niko Jovic. I mean, just talked about how I pegged him as a starter, and he put a lot of this season's problems of Jovic on injury. He went out of his way to say a lot of this was injury based. I think it was also, every postseason when he does this, there's always like a guy or two that he tries to get into his frame of mind. You remember it was Tyler last season, or it was the season before. Like, he's done this before. Did it with LeBron, right? I mean, he comes into these postseason press conferences with an idea, and my thought was this season it's Jovic. He knows how much money he's invested in him. And I think he came in with a directive to himself, like, hey, I've got to light that public fire under Nikola Jovic because he can be what we think he was when we gave him that money. And I need him to hear it publicly.
Solana, how did you feel? We talked about it earlier before you got on about the big lineup. Because the Khalil Ware thing and all that. Did he have any clarity on that? Because I didn't hear the whole press conference.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely said he'd like to see that through a little bit more. By the way, that shouldn't surprise anybody. Pat Riley, ever since we've followed him, he had Shaquille O'Neal down in Miami. He traded for him. He had Patrick Ewing in New York. He had Kareem in LA. Like, he loved Hassan Whiteside, like he went and gave Hassan money over Dwayne Wade. He's always loved a true center or a true big. But yeah, I mean, I think he didn't want to be direct and say, yeah, that lineup should have been played more.
320. We got to give away some Eagles tickets. We've got Eagles tickets every day this week, and you've got your chance right now. I think we should take caller 13 since he was so complimentary towards. And didn't the Dolphins have 13 total picks?
They did. 13.
I mean, what would we be doing if we didn't take caller 13 for these tickets? I mean, Eagles bringing their long goodbye Act 3 tour to Hard Rock Live May 13th. We have tickets every day this week. You can purchase tickets at casino.hardrock.com/Hollywood. Go to the events page or be caller 13 right now. 305-567-0560. 305-567-0560. Caller number 13 will get the tickets. Let's do a quick look at the headlines with Solana, brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com.
Just to wrap up there, Crowder, he said that he likes Khalil Ware and Bam Adebayo together. Like, he said that. And that you have to be committed to it one way or another. Yeah, but it's not like I don't think he would put Spo in that position
Spo
to
has
come
to
out.
do that, though. Like that. That's what that kind of would. It seemed like him and Spo weren't on the same page.
Well, we've seen that in the past too.
Yeah. But he's the one that offered the Niko Jovic tidbit. He's the one that said my starting lineup at the beginning of the season was, and he listed off the names, and Khalil Ware wasn't on that starting 5. It was Niko Jovic. I thought that was surprising. I'm surprised there weren't more follow-ups to that because, like, you drafted Khalil Ware And this was year number 2. The idea was that after starting him the last 30-plus games last year next to Bam, that they would grow on that. And Pat himself didn't have Khalil Ware to start the season in the starting 5. Clearly, Eric Spoelstra didn't either because they started Niko Jovic.
Why didn't you follow up with that starchy ass dress shirt?
This is Brooks Brothers, bro. This is Brooks Brothers.
By the way, speaking of times that Riley and Spo weren't aligned, and I think of Hassan Whiteside, did you see he won Defensive Player of the Year in the Chinese Basketball League?
Yeah.
Whiteside did?
Whiteside did.
Wow.
Doing it with blocks, even in China.
Even in China.
Doing it with blocks.
So what do you guys think of the Dolphins draft pick? I know everybody loves, I heard the Tobin talking about it as well. Everybody loves Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker out of Texas Tech. He's got the stash. He's got the Bo Camper look for sure. I saw Bo Camper was joking on CBS 4 about it. But 13 picks, man. Like the Dolphins, they brought a lot of new blood into that building for sure.
I'll give you, in the next segment, I'll read a couple of actual recaps for you, but this is just the list of grades from a number of outlets, okay? Pro Football Focus gave them a B+. This for overall draft. CBS Sports, B+. ESPN, USA Today, and NFL Media gave them a B. Sports Illustrated, B-. DraftWire, C+. Yahoo Sports and the Sporting News, C. And Fox Sports gave them a D.
Hell with Fox Sports.
So there were no A's. That's fine. I didn't think there was enough talent available. We've talked about maybe a weak NFL draft. It's a funny thing where it's like, hey, they addressed a lot of their needs, but that's kind of more because they have so many needs. It would be almost impossible not to address a number of needs. But I do like the methodology versus what we watched with Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer. Although, if you gave me a choice, my preferred methodology of working would be the small, speedy, scoring-driven, razzle-dazzle team. If that could have worked, I'd vote for that every time. But I sat through that for 4 years. It didn't go anywhere, so I'm all in on doing it with size and mustaches.
Hawk, 100%. I'm telling you, bro, the best thing that you said about John Eric Sullivan and Hafley is that they can't be evaluated for another 12 months. We don't know until the end of the season, next year and the next draft probably, what they're going to do. And it's the best thing. Rodriguez, Proctor, Johnson, all these guys, Bell and Kakmarak. I don't know. I can't even read my own writing. Kakmarak, what's his name?
Kakalaki.
We don't know what they're going to be, but they are gigantic humans. They didn't draft anybody under 6 feet until the 5th round. That's what I saw with the draft. They are going out and getting bigger, more physical, stronger. They're going to try to bully people. And from my football experience, Hawk, that's when you win in the 4th quarter, when you can really lean on people and they can tap out. That thing you love, and I understand it 100%, Hawk. I understand Tyreek and Jalen Waddle running around the field.
Fun if it's working, man.
It's fun if it's working. But when it doesn't work, let's go lean on these people for a couple hours. This defensive tackle is going to start running the other way once this 6'6" man hits him in the shoulder 15 times in a row. And that was the total obvious thing of what Sully is doing. We're going to become a very big physical team, and he drafted that way.
And they showed us with the first pick, man. They could have gone with Ruben Bain. They didn't. They went with the monster. By the way, Hawk, like the grades to me, no A's. That doesn't surprise me because in order to get an A, you need like to impress with those first 2 first-rounders. Clearly, nobody came away, and I'm not saying that they're right. I'm just saying clearly nobody came away uber impressed with Caden Proctor and Chris Johnson. I feel like most people believe that Proctor has the weight issues and the maturity issues, and then that Chris Johnson is a good player and has the right tools, but that overall, like the Dolphins kind of reached for him in the first round. So like that, like not seeing A's doesn't surprise me because that's where you win the draft, right? Like you come away with the big pick
It's
in
the
first
hot
round.
sizzle picks. That's why Tampa got an A
Yeah.
because Ruben Bain was 15. The debate was, is he going to be available at 11? And they got him at 15.
Yeah.
That's how you get the A's. You're right.
And the fat boy thing is from Nick Saban.
Yep.
The criticism, every time Nick Saban said that Proctor came in 400 pounds, and Proctor addressed it. He said, yeah, one offseason I came back, and I was heavy, and then I got light again, and I went to being an All-American. Like, that, the narratives of it build a lot of those grade, those whatever grading draft boards and all that stuff. Man, we'll see in a year if Proctor starts whooping people's ass. We'll be like, okay, hey, man, stay 320. We'll be good to go.
All right, guys. Just
We
some
also
more
have to
local
root for
stuff.
Ruben Bain to have like no sacks in the first 9 games.
Hawk, I'm ordering a Ruben Bain Tampa Bay Buccaneers
I know.
jersey. Y'all can
I'm
yell at me if y'all
I'm
want
rooting
to.
for him too, but it ain't gonna be good unless Proctor's tearing it up. It ain't gonna be good.
I'm gonna wear a Ruben Bain jersey to the station.
So the Marlins, they open up their 3-game series tonight on the road. They're still out west. They have the LA Dodgers. They didn't have the best weekend, but Chris Paddock gets the start tonight for the Fish. He'll go up against Yamamoto for the Dodgers. And I'm pretty sure Shohei's supposed to pitch one of these next 2 games.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's I'll stay up for that
Should
one.
should I text Xavier Alexander?
Xavier who?
Andrews?
Who?
Edwards? What's
There you
his
go.
name?
That's your friend?
I got his phone number.
Well, you'll never find it.
And then in the NBA tonight, you do have the Pistons and Magic playing Game 4. It'll be in Orlando. Orlando leads that series 2-1. Thunder, Suns tonight. OKC can finish off the sweep. And then you also have the Nuggets trying to stay alive against the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's the late game tonight.
You want to know
10:30
what that
p.m.
line is? I'm so fascinated by that series. What do you think the line is? It goes back to Denver tonight, right?
Yeah, it's in the Mile High tonight. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think the line is on that game?
Is anybody suspended from all the foolishness?
No suspensions, but Anthony Edwards is out. He's week to week.
And
He's not going to play in this series again.
And the Italian's hurt too, isn't he?
DiVincenzo tore his
DiVincenzo.
Achilles, so he's done so.
The Nuggets have to be favored. Have to be favored by 5.5.
Just based on how Hawk asked the question, I'm learning how to play this game. Nuggets minus 12.5.
11.5.
11.5?
11.5.
I would take the points.
I think I'm going to take the points.
I'm gonna take the points.
I don't know,
11.5?
man. I don't
Okay,
know.
well,
I don't know.
I am at home. I can go on Hard Rock Bet app right now.
I don't know, man. Like what?
11.5, Solana.
Yeah, but bro, Anthony Edwards, and I know he hasn't been Michael Jordan in this series because Jaden McDaniels has been an absolute baller, and like Gobert, defensively has been great, but Anthony Edwards is the engine of that team, and because he's on the floor, it creates opportunities for other guys.
It's the Barkov thing with the Panthers. Like you forget, you're like, oh, they're injured, but they're still good.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, wait a second. Anthony Edwards is the best player on their team, and Denver, they are due for some sort of ass whooping of this team. And if it's going to happen, it probably would happen tonight, but I don't know, man. I think I'm still leaning towards taking the points.
They've been punked. They've gotten punked.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah,
Because,
that's what I'm saying. They got little Boyd.
McDaniels is punking them at the end of games. Like they've gotten punked. So now they're at home. They have to win the game. No Anthony Edwards. I don't know, man. I feel like I'd look for an alternate line. Nuggets minus 18.5, something like that.
All right.
And they whoop them, but they whoop them by 7.
All right, guys. Your weather in South Florida right now, it's 85 degrees. It's hot again. Tonight, the lows they're going to drop into the low 70s. This weather report was brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, helping keep your home and family safe when the storms roll in. Visit tornadoroofing.com for your free roof and window estimate.
I do have in the next segment someone who gave the Dolphins draft an A. And we all know him. I'll read it to you in the next segment. Cheetah Pompano, that's a great spot to watch a game tonight. Maybe a little late night Miami baseball. You can watch that, or the 4 stages of entertainment. They have the most beautiful ladies in South Florida. Cheetah Pompano has the amazing complimentary gourmet lunch till 3 p.m. every day, and it's a fantastic menu. They've got happy hour specials till 6 p.m. If you're planning a bachelor party, that's a big responsibility. If you're in charge of planning the bachelor party, there is no better place to have it than Cheetah Pompano or Cheetah Palm Beach. You can get the details online or just go to either of the clubs, get the details there. Every day is a great day at Cheetah Pompano Beach. Make sure you visit Cheetah Palm Beach as well. Get all the details at cheetahsofl.com.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
I love Zephyr Hills.
There is no Zephyr Hills. It's Zephyr Hills. We've been over this. All right, here's a couple of letter grades for the Miami Dolphins. Now, I'll start with the A. This is from Pete Prisco at CBS Sports. And Pete Prisco, I think, in my opinion, he's a notoriously tough grader.
He is very tough.
Very tough on his Jacksonville
surprising.
Jaguars. He's never happy with what they do. Here's what he writes. Best pick, according to him, second-round linebacker Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech will prove to be a big-time player on their defense. He has the ball instincts that you love for the position. Their worst pick, according to him, third-round tight end Will Kakalaki, who you mentioned in the last segment.
Markalaka. What's his name?
How do you pronounce it, Solana? Do you know it's Will Kasmarek? Kasmarek.
Yeah.
Says he's a good blocker, not a great one, but is limited in terms of his receiving skills. And then Pete Prisco writes, John Eric Sullivan had a heck of a draft. I loved the pick of tackle guard Caden Proctor in the first round. They then loaded up on a bunch of good players with their remaining picks. Receiver Caleb Douglas will prove to be a steal. So he was the only person who I found an A, but it seems like he's grading it fairly, which is, hey, you got some good players. You didn't, like to me in this draft, especially with that number of picks, it would be like, how many times did you strike out? And if you didn't strike out, you're starting to have a good draft. And then if you can find a few out of the 13 who are going to be starters or contributors year one, then you kind of had a knockout draft.
That's what happens. If Proctor, Chris Johnson, Rodriguez, Douglas, if these dudes start on this team, if they're NFL starters first year, it's special. And it's not hard for them to be that on this team, on this roster. And that's what it's about. He is swinging an entire philosophy. That's hard to swing from track meet to bullies. And that's what they want to do is get bullies. He's trying to find bullies when we were a track meet team. I want to see it. And then, like you said, Hawk, the best evaluation I've heard was from you, and I don't give you credit that much. We won't know for a year, but he is swinging to bully people and not to outrun them.
You get a vibe, though. Is your vibe telling you that this team is going to find success under John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley? Because we haven't seen success under any regime in 25 plus years. Your vibe, your gut, does it tell you the Dolphins are going to finally find success under Sullivan and Hafley?
It does. It does, and it's not calculated. It's my mindset. I like bully ball. We're not beating people 45-42. This team, they're not building a 45-42 team. They're building a 17-13 team. They're building a physical, let's go choke people to death and win it late team. But I think like the Eagles, I keep bringing up the Eagles and the Lions, and I think that's where we're moving towards. We're not going out to score 50. We got to get to 20. And we have to make them ice up on the plane. Ice up, son. Like that's the team, but that's the philosophy that I love football in, Hawk, that's what it is. It's that let's go choke somebody to death long enough that they don't want to play anymore.
Get us to 20. Ruben Bain will handle the rest. Oh, wait.
He can't do it. Proctor's going to open the hole.
The only thing with that, though, Crowder, like I'm with you. I like the mentality. I like how he wants to build it from the inside out. We've said this a billion times. The only thing with that, though, is that you're not the more physical team when half your starters are rookies. Like your rookies don't step on the field and immediately are the more physical team. Like that doesn't happen. It takes time for them to become physical beasts. There are some outliers for sure, but I'm saying like if even 4 or 5 of these guys out of the 13 end up starting day one, and they're the guys you're going with as starters, you're not going to be the more physical team. It takes time for these guys to develop and for your philosophy to play out the way that they want it to play out. So
Yeah, they can always find Channing Crowders that just walk in busting people's heads open.
man, you couldn't even get on the field. Junior Seau was telling you, stay your
Not
ass on
necessarily certain it was
sideline, bro.
you. Not necessarily certain it was you who was busting people's heads
Listen,
open.
I don't want to do this. I need to set this up for people. Please stop calling Rodriguez the next Zach Thomas because he's not black.
Is ZT.
Do not do that. Zach Thomas is a Hall of Famer. Y'all don't understand how good Zach was.
No, Zach Thomas is the one before the draft who said Jacob Rodriguez was his favorite linebacker in the NFL draft. It's ZT that opened that up, baby, not us.
I
mean, he got
I'm
the
calling
stamp.
him the next Dave Wanstead.
So
And I mean it complimentary.
You're thinking that Rodriguez, Solana, is about to be Zach Thomas game one.
He's
It's
the Mexican Zach
impossible.
Thomas. He's the Mexican
It's
Zach Thomas.
impossible, bro.
100%. 100%.
I think you're disrespecting my brother ZT with that. There's no chance he walks in and becomes Zach Thomas.
ZT gave him the stamp of approval. Like, what else do we need?
No. Zach might have smoked a cigar and drank some
I
Cabernet.
stand in unison with Zach. If you're asking me which linebacker am I going to stand with in this argument on Rodriguez, I got to stand with linebacker Thomas, who's got the yellow jacket.
Man, let me call Zach. I
Let me
have
give
Zach
you one
Thomas's
more.
number.
One more grade. USA Today ranked the Miami Dolphins 13th best draft in the league and gave them a B overall. And what they write is they wound up picking 13 players, and perhaps as many as 7 or 8 of them could reasonably start in 2026. Testaments to both the quality of rookie GM John Eric Sullivan's choices, but also how thin this stripped-down roster was entering the weekend. Sullivan's first 3 selections, Caden Proctor, Chris Johnson, Jacob Rodriguez, all have excellent college film, yet also had enough questions going into the pre-draft process that their stock didn't seem to catch up to their highlights until later. Third-round wide receiver Chris Bell, who's recovering from a torn ACL suffered last November, has been compared to Brown and others from an ability standpoint. Fourth-rounder Trey Moore is another one to watch, an extremely productive player at UTSA, but not so much at Texas, so it remains to be seen if he's a gem at the next level or overmatched. Versatile fourth-round defensive back Kyle Lewis might also be a heist of a defensive weapon. Did the Finns get a talent comparable to Waddle, who was traded last month? Maybe not. Have they effectively found a replacement for Jordan Brooks from a former Red Raider like Rodriguez and a player Sullivan claimed he wanted to build around 5 minutes ago? Yep. But the mission here was quantity and finding players who can immediately provide direct or indirect support for first-year QB Malik Willis. Check and check. And if you do have 7 or 8 starters out of that 13, again, there's 2 things at play. Testament to who you selected, also anti-testament to what was here before.
To what you had. No, and that's what you do. And honestly, to Solana's point, is Proctor a year 1 Pro Bowler? No. Is Proctor a year 3 Pro Bowler? Now you got something. Is Rodriguez a Zach Thomas in 3 years? Now you got something. Now you're building a team. You're building a roster and a cheap roster, because if 7 of these guys start out of 13, that is peanuts. They're all making league minimum.
Yeah.
So if these dudes start and produce, like there is no money. We know we're 150 million in dead money this year because of Tua and the other guys. I give it an A-. I would say A- because there wasn't a lot of sexy picks, but there was a lot of guys that filled a lot of needs. But I'm telling you, Hawk, what you said, we don't know what this is going to be for another 8 months, 9 months.
We'll know when we see the starting roster, though, for game 1. We'll know if it's headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
4 o'clock hours coming up. We have a lot of stuff to get to. 4 o'clock hours coming up. Everyone is invited to the Hard Rock Bet Party. Doesn't matter who you are. Your name is on the list. Sign up today and double your winnings on your first 10 bets, max $50. But that's right, you can double your winnings on your first 10 bets. Download the Hard Rock Bet app, make your first deposit, and get the party started today. On Hard Rock Bet, the double your winnings welcome offer is just the start. You also get new promos every day of the week. Just open the app right now, see what you've got today. The NBA playoffs are all about big moments, clutch shots, superstar performances, and games that come down to the final possession. And every night you've got a shot to cash in on Hard Rock Bet. Maybe you like the hot hand to drop 30 or the big man to control the glass with a double-double, the point guard to dish out 5 assists. However you draw it up, Hard Rock Bet gives you tons of ways to stack your picks into an epic same-game parlay. And if you're like us, you can't get enough playoff hockey, head over to Hard Rock Bet and test your puck luck today. From puck lines and totals to player props and same-game parlays, every night is a shot to light the lamp on Hard Rock Bet. How about this? Imagine turning a $10 13-leg parlay into a $45,000 win. That's what one Hard Rock Bet player did betting baseball. See all the big wins if you follow at Hard Rock Bet on social media. Maybe you'll be next. And European soccer semifinal nights are here, and every goal can change everything. So don't let a substitution ruin your goal scorer props with Super Sub on Hard Rock Bet. If your player gets subbed off, you still win if their replacement scores. Same odds, same payout. Try it this week on Hard Rock Bet. It all starts with you downloading the Hard Rock Bet app right now. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
This is Hawk, Crowder, and Solana.
What about
Yeah,
FD
ain't
Florida
hard
and FD Sun?
How about FU?
PM and we back on the clock, so don't get cutesy. Dog lead the station on lock. We got the sports talk and the drama to make sure the T-clock. WQAM is the Avengers with no weak spot. For Joe, Rose, Woody, Bo, Omar and more, Tobin and Leroy giving gooses galore. Yeah, for 2 to 6 is reserved for 3 legends. The captains of America, not no Chris Evans. For Spritz to McRibs and calling out game scores. Hochman, Crowder, Solana, get ready for some more.
All right, 4 o'clock hour. Crowder said he was going to call Zach Thomas, but we are convinced he may have called Xavier Edwards by accident. Can't seem to get names and
I
numbers
just
right.
got on the phone with ZT. He
Are you
was
sure
in
you didn't get off the
call-
phone with Xavier Edwards?
with Zach. I just got off the phone with Zach. He was in car line, picked up his daughter. He loves Rodriguez.
That we know.
We know.
He loves because when you reference him like ZT gave him this stamp of approval, I was like, you know what? I can make this call. He said that he hates that they compared him to Nick Buoniconti his whole career, and he hates that they're going to compare Rodriguez to him his whole career. Because why do you like? They're Hall of Famers. Like you're putting Hall of Famers against a rookie, which is crazy. That's what we just got on the phone talking about. He was like, he just needs to go out there and play, but he said he really thinks this kid is gonna change things in the middle for the Dolphins. Which, if Zach says it, you know, that's my big brother. I'm like, oh, he's like that, ZT. He was like, bro, he's like that.
I'm only comparing him to Dave Wanstedt, Larry Zonka, and Tom Selleck.
Why can't you fan Ray Lewis? Because he's not black?
Because he doesn't have a mustache.
Okay.
But it's
Tom
not fair.
Selleck, Tom Selleck didn't play linebacker. He was Magnum PI.
You're right.
It's not fair that Drake May will always have the shadow of Tom Brady over him, but it happens. Like he's filling the same position of a legend up in New England. Like that's what you do when you draft a guy like Jacob Rodriguez who fits a certain mold that Zach Thomas represented, and we haven't been able to fill that space since ZT retired. That's what you do. It's not fair. But it's what happens.
I know he went to Texas Tech like Zach did, but Solana, why don't you compare him to me?
Come on.
Why can't Rodriguez be the next Channing Crowder?
Well, I mean,
for one, I highly doubt he took $1 million credit line out right before the NFL draft. And I could be wrong about this, Hawk. I don't know if you've seen any articles. I could be wrong about this. I don't believe he's been arrested once, twice, 3 times before the NFL draft.
The mustache.
You're stuck on the mustache. Everybody's stuck on not being black. Like, why can't he be the next Channing Crowder and be number 5 in tackles for the Dolphins all time? I just throw it out there.
Sight set higher. Let me give you the stock market report. Start out the 4 o'clock hour here. Brought to you by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE, 1-800-747-3733. Nothing really on Wall Street today. Dow Jones down 62 points. S&P 500 up 8 points. NASDAQ up 50 points. So big old nothing burger to start the week. Let's do headlines here because there is so much going on with the Pat Riley end of year press conference and the Dolphins draft. And Zach Thomas is going to join us at some point this week as well. Crowder told us during the break, so we'll hear from the linebacker himself, the other linebacker. We've heard from this linebacker. We'll hear from the other linebacker himself.
Zach was better than me, I'll admit it.
You think? Headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com.
I do want to point out, Pat Riley spoke today. I know we've gone over a lot of it. There was a lot, and I don't know how much of this you guys even saw over the weekend because it's mostly like Heat social media fan base stuff, but there was a lot of attention on prior to the Pat Riley press conference. Heat fans wanted to know who makes decisions. Who is the person at the end of the day that makes the decisions of the roster, the team, and all the personnel decisions?
This really got fed by a tweet from Barry Jackson responding to someone where he said Riley doesn't make the decisions. But I think we had this conversation last week that Nick Harrison is ahead of Riley on the org chart, and it really is more collaborative than people think that it is.
Right.
And Riley was pretty clear about that today.
Yeah. And he said that the person he talks to most is Andy Ellisberg, which shouldn't surprise anybody. He's the cap genius. He's the one who knows all the rules. He's the general manager. So it shouldn't be surprising. Hawk, I only bring it up because there was so much made about that Barry tweet when this was a known thing. Like, this isn't Pat Riley with carte blanche over every decision, pointing fingers at people saying, get me this guy and trade for this guy, and here's what I'm doing. He clarified some of that today where he said, since I've been here, I had to get final approval from Mickey Arison.
He said he's never had the autonomy to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But
so
there
there
has to be a hierarchy, fellas.
No, but I think what I believed was Pat Riley is the one who engages in trade conversations. And he's the one that keeps an eye on potential targets and moves. And then him and Andy sit down. Can we get this done? And then if there's a move to be made that they want to make, then they go and they sit down with Nick Harrison. They present that idea. And then,
and it used to be Mickey. Before Nick was involved, it used to be they would sit down with Mickey.
The owner and the CEO get final say on if you're trading X player or trading X player that they own. Like, this to me was just a lot of, Heat Twitter stuff where people just want to be angry about something and get me an answer and make Nick Harrison come out and talk. And it just doesn't work that way. This is how it's always worked with the Miami Heat. Pat Riley is the voice of all the conversations that are being held behind the scenes by the brass.
He's the face of the organization as well. He is the guy who should be speaking.
It's Pat knowing basketball. Now Mickey or Nick, who now Nick took over, being a voice there, but also Andy Ellisberg working the money out. But Pat is making basketball decisions. There's no way Andy Ellisberg or Nick, they don't know basketball like Pat knows basketball. Pat builds the roster, and he goes to them to figure out how we can get this roster built.
Pat built this franchise. Let's not get it twisted. Not that he was here at the beginning of it, but his 31-year tenure, he built this franchise. The Miami Heat is what it is because of Pat Riley. And so while he's very gracious up there and was today, he's the godfather. And they, I'm sure, defer to whatever his choices are. But he was clear to say, as Solana just pointed out, I don't say, go get me that guy. He's the next guy or whatever. There is a collaborative process.
As there should be, by the way.
Yes.
As there should be in any functional organization. This is
By
the way it works.
If Dallas had that, they'd still have Luka Doncic.
Yeah. It seemed like people want to put somebody's head on a spike because the Heat missed the playoffs this year. And I'm cool with frustration. I don't want the Heat to be in this situation. I literally get paid on a per game basis. Like, I want them in the playoffs, But this idea that, like, we need to find who's responsible for this. Yeah. And it's not one person. It's not just Pat Riley. It's not just Nick Harrison. And it never has been.
It's Pat Riley. Pat Riley builds the roster. Andy Ellisberg figures out the money. And Nick and Mickey Arison sign off on it. But they don't know if Jokic should get more money.
I disagree.
That's Pat.
I disagree because what the majority of fans are upset with now is that the Miami Heat are still in the middle and that there was an avenue for the Miami Heat to not be in the middle. And that was at the trade deadline when they couldn't get Giannis. That was to trade Norman Powell. That was to trade whoever you can to get assets back. And the thought process here, Crowder, is that Pat Riley is the one that doesn't let this organization move forward with a different approach. And while, yes, Pat Riley probably has the reason this organization thinks that way is because of how Pat Riley thinks, they're aligned in that methodology, which is we don't want to tank. Because if they weren't aligned,
you're aligned with it because that's Riley's stance.
It's a philosophy.
Yeah,
right, but if they weren't
and so
aligned,
you kind of get behind your leader. But he was pretty clear too, though. At the trade deadline, they were the 6th seed. So he wasn't thinking, this is what he said. This is what he said.
Yeah.
We were the 6th seed. So what would you want me to do? You wanted me to just blow it up when we're one of the top 6 seeds in the NBA. And he said, my theory is not to do that.
Yeah.
Because we're one of the top 6 seeds. And if you get me in that top 6, who knows what's going to happen? In fact, he said, I feel like this roster, the only teams that it couldn't beat were San Antonio and OKC. He was telling you, you get into the playoffs, he thought he could beat every team in the East with this roster construct.
Yeah.
So when the Giannis thing wasn't going to happen and people were just saying, well, sell off the assets, get draft picks, he was like, why would I do that? I'm a top 6 seed right now. Maybe we'll get better.
But that's what the fan base is frustrated about.
I understand that, but he explained what his rationale was today.
But my point was that this isn't just a Riley decision. I don't believe it is. I think his influence is why they think this way and they want to operate this way for sure, because he's been at the helm and because of his resume and his track record in Miami. But if they weren't aligned, if Nick Arison and Mickey Arison and Adam Simon and Eric Spoelstra were all having conversations saying, hey, we can't win this way anymore, then Pat Riley wouldn't still be at the decision table anymore, is my point. I believe they're aligned in this vision to not tank.
I mean, that happens, again, until you usually have an ownership change or whatever. I mean, it happened with the Dolphins. They were aligned with Shula, even if it looked like things were falling down and couldn't be put back together until, who was it that, it was Jimmy Johnson, but who was it when Stephen Ross bought the team? I'm trying to think back because I know in Dallas, everything was Tom Landry, and then all of a sudden Jerry Jones came in and it was time for Jimmy Johnson. Like, this has been the thought process for the Heat for 30 plus years with Pat Riley. So it's not going to change on a dime because if you have a guy there that long, you obviously believe in what he's doing and he's had enough success doing it. So it would take a dramatic shift to change their methodology.
And to that point, like the Riley philosophy. So you bring up, I don't know who Simon is. Who is Simon, Solana? You brought his name up.
Yeah, he's one of the people at the decision table.
So
for the
Simon, Spoelstra, the Arisons, Nick and Mickey, and Ellisberg they're sitting at a table as grown men. And Pat Riley's there as well. Pat Riley is going to veto any decision that's made. Is that correct? Like, he's Pat Riley. He's going to make the decision. We need to bring in Terry Rozier, which we all know now that it was a bust. But Pat is that's why I say the hierarchy. Pat is the top of the hierarchy. So those people on Twitter that want to criticize somebody, Pat, I don't think Ellisberg, Simon, Spoelstra, or any Arison is going to tell Pat Riley, we should not do this. I think Pat is the guy that tells them, we're going to do this. Y'all figure out how this happens.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Riley goes to Ellisberg and says, can this happen?
Yeah.
This is what I'm interested in. Can this happen? And nothing dramatic happens to this franchise without him running it up the flagpole to Nick Arison, who then probably checks with his dad.
Well, today, Pat Riley, the Heat offseason officially begins. Now that the Riley presser is done, we've got the NBA lottery to worry about, and The State of the Heat ended today officially with the Riley presser. A couple other notes locally. The Miami Marlins, they'll open up a 3-game series versus the LA Dodgers. That's tonight, 10:10 p.m. And then you've got the NBA playoffs going on as well. Tonight in the NBA playoffs, we talked about the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, big game 5 up in the Mile High. But you've got the Pistons trying to even up that series in Orlando tonight. They trail that series 2-1.
You want to guess the
8 p.m.
line
tip-off.
on that game? In Orlando.
My guess is the Pistons are slight favorites, 2.5.
I don't know. I'm texting with Zach Thomas right now, so I feel special.
It is. It's Detroit minus 3.5 tonight.
I think they blow them out.
Detroit?
Yeah.
Man,
They're not-
I thought
they're
you
not
said
losing
though
that
Orlando
series.
was going to be your surprise upside team
Solana, you
in the
just
playoffs,
went-
and Detroit you had questions about.
You swing so much on these series.
First of all, I never said Orlando's my big upside surprise team. I just thought this series would be a lot closer than most people thought, which, by the way, Orlando's winning this series 2-1. But I
know
still think
that's why it
Detroit,
was surprised me when you said that Detroit's going to blow them out tonight.
yeah, I still think Detroit's going to win the series, though. And this is one of those. Game 4, got to have it. I think Detroit wins this game. I do. OKC
By how
and the
much?
Suns. Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
I think they win by 10 points or more. I think they win handedly tonight.
Maybe we'll do a alternative line parlay tonight.
I'm on the Hard Rock Bet app too, Hawk.
And then the Thunder and Suns. All I know is I nailed that Game 3 Lakers pick. I told you, Lakers money line, and you would have covered no matter what. But I told you, Lakers money line, and they won that Game 3. How crazy was the LeBron stuff at the end of that game?
That 3 at the end, the turnover at the end was ridiculous, but the 3 also was just, vintage LeBron.
I thought he hit that game winner too, man. Like he caught it, put
It was a
it
good
up.
look.
It was such a good look. I thought it was halfway down too, man. It hit the rim, and I'm like, oh my god, he just won it, bro. What the hell is going on with the Rockets? I think
KD's done.
Like done NBA
in
done?
Houston. I think he's done in Houston.
You think
I
they
saw a
trade him?
tweet.
But
Will he be the first Hall of Famer whose jersey doesn't get retired by any team he played for?
Crazy.
I don't want to give JJ Redick too much credit, but everybody now just blitzes him. And Ime and Doku, like, can you do something with a team that puts 2 on him every time he gets the ball? Like, it's embarrassing that they can't figure out an offense that's 3 versus 4.
But he's not playing.
Yeah, he's been out.
But
He's
the
been
KD thing, the 3+4 thing, it just kills me. Where I don't know it, but something should happen when this dude gets.
No, but I'm
rushed
saying
like
he's not playing though. He's missed the last 2 games.
Yeah, he's been out. So, and then there was this report, and I don't know like the validity of the report, but there was this report, basically saying that like they don't know if he's committed or not right now in Houston. That they have no idea.
It doesn't seem like it. And again, I don't know what he's going through, so it's very easy for me to say that. But you need this. You have. I don't know. You'd think that it would require. Although we've seen him play through. Like he came back from. Was it the Achilles or the ACL?
He tore his Achilles, but he missed a whole season after tearing his Achilles.
He came back probably too soon from an injury before, so he may be overly cautious about doing that same thing again.
Yeah.
But man, it's been a terrible look for him the last few seasons.
Yeah.
It is crazy though that they're going to end up losing this series without Luka and
that's insane.
And Austin Reeves, and KD's played in 1 game.
Yeah, it's insane.
They survived yesterday, but they did go down 3-0. No team in NBA history has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. You saw Mike Tomlin was introduced, Crowder, your boy, with the NBC broadcast. He did a sit-down interview and talked about his decision to go to TV and step away from football.
I did see it, and I knew he's going to be great on there.
Yeah,
I
he's
wish he
really
would have.
good.
I wish he would have adopted me. I asked him 2 years ago at 40, and I don't think he needed that stress.
Yeah, he's going to be really good. He was good last night.
Yeah. Chris Sims got the boot.
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah, I didn't care for him. I
terrible.
thought he was like a non-factor.
Yeah, he was trying to be Dan Orlovsky, but he wasn't Dan Orlovsky.
Just didn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
I don't like the hair part either.
Like the thick side.
Yeah, like it's way too definitive of a part, you know, and it's got a whole bunch of product in it. And I don't know. It's not my look.
It's definitely not your look. Hey, what the hell's going on here? You guys saw this report that Rajon Rondo is going to be
What's his
among
first name?
Rajon Rondo.
It is Rajon.
His Rajon?
Yeah.
I called him Ray John for 10
Everybody
years.
did.
Yeah. But you also call it Jaime Jaquez Jr. Hacky Lacky.
Hacky Lacky Jr. Okay. Sorry. I apologize. What is Rajon doing?
You saw this, Hog? He's according to Mark Stein and Jake Fisher, he's going to be among the candidates for the Pelicans coaching search. But I thought this dude was going to lead Team USA in the flag football Olympics because out of nowhere, remember, he was like he became ranked as the top flag
football
quarterback in the flag football circuit. So what? This guy is part-time, maybe head coach in the US in the NBA, but he's also leading Team USA in the Olympics as their quarterback for flag football. Like, what is it? What's going on with Rajon Rondo?
I also feel like I've done my time with Rondo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a second act here with Rondo. Like, I you know what I mean? Like, I sat through the Rondo era. We all know, famously, he had major difficulties with Jason Jackson. Jax has talked about it on this show. I want to be done with Rondo.
Now he's a flag football quarterback?
Yeah, like the best in the world.
I don't like it.
Anybody following the Vrabel stuff any further? He's apparently back.
He's back at work.
He's back at work. Yeah.
Should go to work.
Well, he got cured on Saturday, and now he's back at work.
Oh, there we go, Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Therapy worked.
He's back at work. He had to miss the
I just
draft
said-
on Saturday, and now he's back at work today.
Yeah, his addiction is gone.
Well, did he have an addiction?
I don't know. That's what they got to say.
But I mean, it was one woman. I don't think he had an addiction. This is not the typical addiction story that you hear about. That's why this thing was so weird to me. It was like this was a long-term relationship, it appeared.
Yeah, but he shouldn't worry about the goodies. Don't worry about the goodies.
Why did he have to go to counseling on day 3 of the draft? Like, why couldn't he
Bizarre.
have just gone today?
Or Sunday.
Optics.
Or Sunday.
Optics.
But what are the optics? Not only do I cheat on my wife, but I'm going to miss a day of work to
I
go.
thought it was dumber
get counseling
optics,
on
to be
it.
quite honest. I really did. I thought it was dumber optics.
I'm not going to have this story out about my head coach and act like it's not here. And so now I'm really going to address it to look the part, but it's optics.
Okay. Whatever, man. All right, guys. Your weather in South Florida right now, it is 85 degrees. Tonight, the lows are going to drop into the low 70s. That weather report was brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Storm season is coming. Make sure your home is ready. Get your free roof and window estimate today. Visit tornadoroofing.com.
Do a little who got funky in the next segment. Talk some more Riley and draft as well. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel like it. If your energy's low, your sleep is off, your weight doesn't seem to budge, your mind feels foggy, your sex drive isn't what it used to be, it's time to switch things up, and I am talking about Atlantic Men's Clinic. I go there for a testosterone shot. At Atlantic Men's Clinic, their advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds and have more energy and enhance your body composition and improve your sleep and increase your sex drive and so much more, helping you get back to feeling your best. That way you're sharper at work, you're better in the bedroom, you're more confident everywhere in your life. Atlantic Men's Clinic, they really are the experts in treating low testosterone and other men's sexual health conditions. They have successfully treated many men for low T, including me. I'm here to tell you, you will notice a difference. If you're like the many men who are low T, within just a few weeks, you'll feel your energy return, the brain fog disappear, your sleep get better, your sex drive becomes significantly enhanced. Atlantic Men's Clinic. You know, a lot of guys will wait a year or longer. There's no need to wait. Don't ignore the signs. Call today. Take that first step towards feeling better again. They have 7 locations in South Florida, so there's going to be one near you. Call them at 877-455-7300, 877-455-7300, or you can visit atlanticmensclinic.com. Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Me sube la bilirrubina.
WQAM, broadcasting live from the
dig it. Cool and at a bar, and I'm looking for some action. But like Mick Jagger said, I can't get no satisfaction. The girls are all around, but none of them want to get. The girls was all jocking at the other end of the bar, having drinks with some no-name chump.
We'll play a little Who Got Funky here in Uno Minuto. I want to remind everybody the Whiskey Stars and Cigars event presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall returns on Friday, May 8th. Come on out. The entire QAM air staff there, besides me. And it'll be at Tabacón Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. This is our third one. Each one has been more fun than the next. Enjoy a nice Scotch whiskey from Johnny Walker and a smooth cigar from Drew Estate. It is free. You just stop on by. It starts at 6 p.m. You can get all the info at WQAM.com. Got to be 21 or older. Again, May 8th, Tabacón Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. Whiskey Stars and Cigars presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. 4 brands, 1 location, your local Cadillac, Buick, GMC, and Chevy dealer. All right, let's fire off the big open. Do we have a big open for Who Got Funky, Jimmy?
We sure do.
All right.
Want me to play it right now?
What?
The open?
For?
Who Got Funky, I think?
Yeah, sure. Fire it off.
Okay.
Yo, E, what you want to do now, man? Yo, whatever it is, it's just got to be funky.
Funky, funky, funky.
I can't get enough of that funky stuff. You know it's funky, 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 because you heard it from here, see.
Who got funky?
On Hawk, Crowder, and Solana.
Who Got Funky brought to you by our friends at Funky Buddha Brewery, where tonight Dan Day hosts trivia, 7:30, beginning at the tap room in Oakland Park. So make sure if you're in the mood for a little fun, little trivia, win some prizes, you head out to Funky Buddha in Oakland Park tonight. All right, for me, Who Got Funky? It was Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama. I had a 3-leg parlay working yesterday. I had Denny Avdia over 22.5. He ended with 26.
Easy money.
I had the Spurs to win. That was never in doubt. And at the end, they're running away with it. The last leg of the parlay, I have Victor Wembanyama over 26.5. Now, he's stuck on 25, and he has no business being in the game. In fact, they're subbing out everyone. There's about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes left. The guy who's subbing out for him is standing at the scorer's table, but play hasn't stopped. Wemby gets the ball, and Avdia actually pushes him hard, like it was a terrible foul. He was just frustrated. And Wemby goes to the line. He's got 25 points. I need both free throws to cash a nice 3-leg parlay. And knocks down the first one. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no chance. There's no chance he's going to hit this second one because he had just made 2 free throws on the previous possession as well. And I'm thinking, I mean, literally, his sub is waiting to come in. And he bangs down the second one as well.
To go 27.
By the way, the actual over-under for Wemby was 27.5.
Wow.
And right before the game started, when I put in that 3-leg parlay, it was down to 26.5. But for all day, it was 27.5, which had to just be a killer for people who put it in at that. But he knocks down 2 free throws. And then Portland inbounds the ball, and the Spurs literally just wrap up whoever got the ball because they want to get Wemby out of the game.
Right.
You never win a bet. I never win a bet like that, but I hit a 3-leg parlay because Wemby knocked down those 2 free throws at the end, so he got funky for me. Crowder, who got funky this weekend?
It's low-hanging fruit, but I got to say it. John Eric Sullivan, he went out and he's trying to change the whole philosophy. He did not draft a player under 6 feet until the 5th round with a white safety. So white safety, I'm worried about. But there's not too many great white safeties out there. But you can see his approach. You can see his direction. They're going to get bigger. They're going to get stronger. They're trying to get, like I said earlier in the show, they're trying to become more of a bully than a track meet. So we saw track meet for 4 years. I want to warn people that you're about to see a bully type team. But I do think that John Eric Sullivan did a great job in this draft, and 13 picks, 6 of them start. That is going to be amazing. And I think it might be that they have to start, but to be able to put that team together and to see his approach to the game purely off size, I think John Eric Sullivan got funky this weekend.
Funky.
Jimmy, who got funky this weekend?
I'm going to give it to Canes baseball because they've
I don't
won
even
their
know what happened with them.
they've won their 6th straight series.
Oh, all right.
Dating
What
back
was
to
their
March.
milkshake this weekend? Were they home this weekend?
Yes, against Cal.
What was the shake? I think I saw it over the weekend. Did anyone see it?
No, I missed it.
Let me see.
Couldn't have been very controversial, or they spice it up if none of us saw it.
It was the tequila sunrise. I did see it. Vanilla ice cream, maraschino cherries, grenadine, and 0-proof tequila. I didn't know there was a 0-proof tequila.
I didn't either.
What's that?
What I mean, it's tequila with no alcohol in it.
Right,
I mean,
non-alcoholic tequila. But I understand drinking a non-alcoholic beer. Why on earth would you have a shot of tequila that was non-alcoholic? You're like for the taste?
yeah, for the taste.
The taste of tequila?
Like
I like
nobody
tequila.
likes the taste of tequila.
I love tequila.
Nobody likes the taste of alcohol.
I do. I love like a bourbon, little bourbon on the rocks, an old fashioned. I love tequila as well.
0-proof old fashioned?
You guys are just soft, is what it is. Get some hair in your chest. I like the
drink
taste
it
of
for
alcohol.
a reason. It's not because you love the taste.
What are you? 18? Like, oh, we got to drink so we can get drunk. Like, I drink for the flavor of the alcohol.
What are you?
Oh.
You guys gotta get you gotta have some hair on your chest. What do you do? What do you drink? That's not a guy who drinks for taste. That's a guy who drinks to show up.
Would you rather drink bourbon or a Sprite for enjoyment?
Oh, a bourbon, 100%.
Yeah,
Like a little bourbon on the
crazy.
rocks.
No one would. It's absurd.
No, that's goofy.
Oh, maybe because you guys, your palates aren't advanced. Your taste buds haven't grown up and matured. But those of us who are men enjoy kicking back.
0-proof man.
Kicking back. Pouring yourself a nice little old fashioned.
So
on
you
the
only
rocks?
drink alcohol for the taste.
Only, yeah.
Only. So
Only.
all the alcohol I would imagine that you drink is 0-proof.
Well, no, I mean, I prefer it to have alcohol in it, but I'm saying, like, there are people who like alcohol but no longer drink, and that's what tequila 0-proof would provide. It would provide you that.
I
like,
understand the
that
concept behind something
Okay, I don't
being
think you do.
0-proof.
I
I
don't
don't
think you do.
understand someone who's a recovering alcoholic saying, yeah, I'll do shots with you. Bring my shot of tequila, though, non-alcoholic. I'm still having a tough time believing there's non-alcoholic tequila.
First I've heard of that.
Is there 0-proof tequila?
Yeah.
Yes, AI says there are several 0-proof or non-alcoholic tequila alternatives designed to mimic the flavor and heat of tequila without the alcohol. I can't think of anything dumber.
Get a slushie. Go to 7-Eleven.
Right? I mean, but who wants to mimic the taste of tequila?
Yeah, that's goofball stuff.
I love tequila. I love how tequila tastes.
No, you don't.
Okay, I mean, you can say I don't, but genuinely I do.
You might love how Fireball tastes, but you
No.
don't love how tequila tastes.
On the contrary, I hate how Fireball tastes.
Lie.
But I'll still throw down some shots of Fireball
Lie.
if we're trying to get lit. But I hate how
No,
Fireball
no,
tastes.
you're not getting lit. You're not getting lit. You're just drinking Fireball just to taste it.
Who said that? I mean, you can have a beer just because you like the taste of a beer on a cold
I
afternoon.
don't like the taste of a beer. I'd drink a Sprite over a beer if beer didn't make me feel different.
Just because you have a beer doesn't mean you're trying to get hammered. But every now and then you want to get hammered, you'll have multiple beers. Like, come on, what are you guys talking about here?
So you
People
just
love the
sip
taste
on
of
a
alcohol.
tequila while you're watching The Bachelorette.
Every now and then, hanging out at the house, long weekend. Yeah, pour myself a little bourbon, a little tequila.
No, I'm talking about tequila specifically. You just
Tequila,
pour
zero
yourself
proof.
a tequila, just
Tequila neat for sure. Yeah, I'll just sip on
Zero
it.
proof. No alcohol. Just
Well,
to
no,
taste it.
I don't buy the zero proof, but I can understand somebody that would. It's not
So
that
you
crazy
would,
of a
to
sentiment.
Hawk's point, you would sit and watch the draft with tequila zero proof.
Yeah, I think I would. If I'd cut out alcohol, I couldn't drink for some reason. Like a nice little cone.
Yeah, but that's the crazy part to me. If like you'd cut out alcohol, why would you dabble with tequila? Like again, I understand a non-alcoholic beer, but non-alcoholic tequila, just like the hell with it. Go back to
Even
drinking.
beer. You want something carbonated that's not going to make you feel drunk. Get a
Well, that was
Sprite.
the Mark Light Shake this weekend. Vanilla ice cream, maraschino cherries, grenadine, and zero proof tequila.
Never just pour yourself like a little cognac, a little
No.
VSOP, and just sip on it, Crowder.
Solana, you never drank Hennessy.
Love a little VSOP.
You drank Hennessy before?
Cognac. Like a fine VSOP.
Solana, Hennessy's
Nothing better.
cognac. Do you even know what cognac is?
Yeah, I love cognac.
What's your
You
favorite?
guys talking about
brand?
cognac?
Solana, what's your favorite brand of cognac?
I told you, VSOP.
Cognac?
Like a little Remy Martin.
I can't
Oh,
believe you guys are pronouncing it wrong this whole
so
time.
good, man.
You're a Remy guy, not a Hennessy guy?
Maybe like a Martingale.
You never drinking a cognac in your life.
Okay. All right.
Who got
Whatever you
funky
say.
this weekend, Solana? Keep it quick. We're already running late. Just one.
Yeah, this
Funky.
this one's tough, man, because I think Dwayne Wade got funky by not even playing, but just letting that bum James Harden turn the ball over more than make field goals for the 29th time. Also, world record holders for eating the longest tiramisu ever. You guys see that? That was fascinating.
I did see that.
No joke. The guy that got funky, the person that got funky, his name is Bodwin Dominicus. Did you guys see this? He ran the fastest marathon ever
Crazy.
wearing a suit and dress shoes for a male at 3 hours, 21 minutes, and 42 seconds. And there was some crazy stuff in the marathon world. For the first time ever, 2 runners ran a full marathon in under 2 hours, which they claimed could never be done by mankind. 2 people did it, and I'm still more impressed by the guy who ran it in 3 hours and 21 minutes in a full monkey suit.
I'm more impressed by the guy who would drink a non-alcoholic tequila.
It's got to be harder to run a full marathon in a suit with a tie and in dress shoes in 3 hours than it is to run it in under 2 hours.
I can't even do the electric slide.
Crisscross. They
That's who
ran.
got funky.
Isn't a marathon 26.2?
Yeah, 27 miles, something like that.
They ran 27 miles in under 2 hours?
Yeah, 2 dudes. 2 dudes ran it in
Goodness.
under 2 hours,
That's
setting world
crazy.
records.
That's sprinting. That's
Yeah.
sprinting for a marathon.
I know they look more like me than y'all two.
I would imagine.
That's who got
Crazy.
funky this weekend.
Yeah, 159.30. That's it. That is insane.
That's great. 26 miles in 2 hours?
And what's crazy is they passed the finish line and they're just like you would expect them to collapse. The dude that did it passed the finish line and was just like, yeah, I did it.
Like
Nothing.
superhuman. That's
Crazy,
that's
man.
wild. All right, 5 o'clock Funky Buddha Happy Hour is coming up. That's who got funky. I want to talk about Tucker Duke's Lunchbox. They're in Deerfield Beach, the best burgers in South Florida. There's your dinner plans right there. Yeah, you were like, what am I going to do for dinner tonight? Tucker Duke's in Deerfield Beach. And it's not just award-winning burgers. It's one of the most creative menus in South Florida. You could see the entire menu at tuckerdukesburgers.com. You could try one of their newest creations, the product, 2 8-ounce all beef patties stacked high with 4 slices of melty white cheddar, shredded romaine, pickles, raw onions, and crispy onions, and finished with their mustard forward product sauce on a toasted onion bun. A product. It's only at Tucker Duke's. You've got like 4 days left to try their April burger of the month, the Bad Bunny. Half-pound burger, pepper jack cheese, bacon jam, whipped blueberry jalapeno cream cheese, crispy onion, spinach, spicy honey aioli, Mike's hot honey as well, all on a toasted onion bun. That's for the month of April, so you only have 4 days left. Then besides burgers, Tucker Duke's menu is loaded. They've got the Smokies smoked fish dip, which is smoked mahi-mahi fish dip served with their house-made tortilla chips. They've got bacon-wrapped Korean barbecue ribs, cheesesteak fries, portobello fries, salads, chicken sandwiches, steak sandwiches. They really have it all. Follow Tucker Dukes on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. You'll see all the incredible food that they make. Tucker Dukes. It's in Deerfield Beach. I'm telling you, it's worth a visit. Check them out at 1101 South Powerline Road in Deerfield Beach. That's the southwest corner of Powerline and 10th. Tucker Dukes just made your dinner plans tonight. Tucker Dukes Lunchbox in Deerfield Beach.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
You telling me Gogar had 2 balls?
5 o'clock hour is the Funky Buddha Happy Hour. And tonight at Funky Buddha in Oakland Park, Dan Day is hosting trivia. That begins at 7:30. This Sunday, they're going to have another F1 watch party. They're doing a lot of race stuff this year. And I think F1's in Miami this weekend, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's race week,
that's a
baby.
huge deal.
Hey.
You going?
Yeah, I am going.
Yeah, that's a big deal, man. But if you're not going, watch it at Funky Buddha in Oakland Park and go there tonight. See Dan Day for a little trivia. I want to get into headlines here because we're coming back late. We've been running late all day because of the Pat Riley press conference. We aired it live. But someone put on the text line, Crowder, how did your show with Finesse Mitchell go at the Improv? I totally forgot.
Oh, yeah, it was good.
How'd you do?
I had 10 minutes, so 10 minutes is so easy. So I did 10 minutes.
So you were happy with your set?
Yeah, I had a good set. I always run late, so he told me 7 minutes, and I had to tell Finesse. I was like, Finesse, I can't do single-digit minutes. There's impossible because I tell stories. So then he gave me 10, so I did 10, but it was good. It was fun last night at the Improv.
Crowded?
Yeah, there was, I would say 90%. Yeah, it was probably 300 plus people in there.
I'm imagining Finesse is super funny live.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
And he had some dude named Nick, and I'm in the back with his opener that he brought. This dude is stupid funny. So Louis used to work at the station.
Luis Diaz.
Louis Diaz.
Oh, yeah, Louis Diaz.
Louis Diaz was the host. So he went out, and Louis is hilarious. Louis opened for me when I had my tour.
Yeah.
Louis lost a ton of weight.
Louis lost 180 pounds.
Wow.
I went to Marcos. I went to talk to Marcos about my music to come out to, and I ignored him because I just didn't recognize him because how much weight he lost. And I looked at his face, and I was like, damn, Louis. And he was like, yeah, what's up? And I ignored him for like 5 minutes because he lost. He was a half a person. He was 400 pounds, and he lost 180 pounds.
Wow,
Yep.
Good for him, man.
He
All right,
committed.
let's,
he did the thing where he went to social media and was like, hold me accountable.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you better effing lose weight, because if not, you're just another person pretending like you're going to lose weight on social media. But he's crushed it. Wood, by the way.
Yeah. So I went, Louis started, then there was a female comedian, and I went second, and then the guy Nick went third, and then Finesse went like an hour. Finesse was hilarious.
Funny.
Yeah.
Funny. All right, let's bang through headlines here so that we can talk a little about the Riley press conference and the Dolphins draft with Brendan Tobin from Middays. Always enjoy bringing him on after the Riley presser. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com.
I haven't mentioned this, and Pat Riley spoke about it, but Tyler Hero is going to have some sort of operation done here. And Pat Riley said it was good. It was preemptive
Said
for
he'd
Tyler
be back
Hero.
by July or August, yeah.
Yeah, get rid of him.
My guess, though, is when Riley finds out Hero's going under the knife again, he rolls his eyes a little bit, right? After playing 33 games this year.
Yeah.
You played 30 games and you're about to get hurt again. Yeah, let's send you to Toronto.
Your Spark Notes, because I know we're going to talk about it now, but your Spark Notes of the Riley press conference, he came out of the box before anybody asked a question with, yeah, I'm not retiring. So I'm not stepping away. He doesn't believe in tanking and put his foot down with, yeah, we're not tanking. The day that this organization decides to tank, I'll step down because he's not a part of it. And then he talked about wanting to add length and size alongside Bam Adebayo. He said that Tyler Hero and Norm can coexist. He'll have conversations with Tyler, Norm, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Andrew Wiggins, their agents, because all four of them are either going to be free agents or are up for extensions. But he was non-committal in any of that stuff. And I think the biggest takeaway was that, yeah, he's upset and he wants to improve the team, but that they're not going to do it via tanking.
Tell you one of the things that interested me, when you talk about tanking, he said, essentially, I hate that the league has this 65 game threshold for one of the postseason awards. He said, because you are essentially approving and condoning maintenance programs. By saying, hey, you only have to play 65, you're saying that the maintenance stuff and taking nights off is okay. In fact, as long as you play 65. And I thought that was telling. He is not changing his ways. If anyone thought, they say a tiger doesn't change its stripes. If anyone thought that he was going to change his ways, his methodology, he was as clear could be today. He believes in playing a full season, trying hard for all 82 games, not tanking, doing the best you can with whatever he can put together, and he is not deviating from that.
Well, Hawk, Tiger doesn't change his stripes, but also you have to play the game like the game is played. And I don't know if we're getting
that's the pull. That is the pull. And there are guys, Jim Larinaga joins us every Wednesday. The college game changed around him. And his methodology didn't work anymore, and he said, I'm not going to do it anymore. Pat Riley says, I'm doing it. Until they tell me to stop, I'm doing it, and I'm doing it my way.
They make another big playoff run, which they did recently with Jimmy. I love the Pat Riley way, but I don't know if the game is changing around him and he's not adjusting.
The Dolphins, of course, made 13 selections, 13 new members via the NFL draft. They're going to add more people as well. But your final pick of the draft was Max Llewellyn, the edge out of Iowa. The Dolphins added 2 tight ends, 3 wide receivers, several linebackers. Jacob Rodriguez seems to be everybody's favorite pick because of the mustache. Mini Zach Thomas, Caden Proctor, Chris Johnson. We talked about it on Friday. They were your first round selections. Crowder, I wanted to ask you because one of the linebackers that the Dolphins drafted in the 4th round, his name is Kyle Lewis. He's a linebacker out of Pitt. And what I was reading was that there's a lot of upside there, and he's quick as hell, but he's small. And that really he could be like a safety with his size. I don't know if you saw anything about that, but I was just wondering, like, because you played the position, if there's any standard in terms of like physique that somebody needs to be able to play linebacker.
It's measurables of playing the run and all. Like Michael Parsons is small for a DN, and they move him around. So my thought would be with that pick is that they're going to move him around, let him play, safety, corner, move him out in the slide, and let him do different things. But yeah, nowadays you don't have to be 250 to play linebacker because really you can't knock anybody out anymore. You need a 250-pound linebacker when people are running the ball downhill. Nowadays, like, I don't think I would have been a top, All-American in the 2026 football game because nobody runs straight downhill anymore.
Speaking of knocking people out, did either of you see this video? There was a lot of soccer videos going viral for all the wrong reasons this weekend. Did either of you see what I think it was Zaragoza, the goalkeeper, did, where he just clotheslined a player after getting a red card? Any of you guys see this video?
I saw the tweet, but I didn't watch the video.
I love it.
Hawk, you have to watch this video.
Watch this,
man.
Hawk.
Because
this is grown man stuff.
He shoves a guy and they give him a red card for it. And what I believe plays out was like, oh, you're gonna give me a red card for shoving some dude that clearly threw himself.
I'm gonna earn it.
I'm gonna go earn it, bro. Like just right hook, boom, and a brawl ensued.
Made me enjoy soccer a little more watching that clip.
Yeah,
Yeah, made me enjoy. I like soccer a little more just because of that clip.
Ready for the World Cup now?
Out.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, guys. We went over the NBA games. There are 3 NBA playoff games tonight. Pistons are in Orlando. That's at 8 p.m. tip-off. 9:30, Oklahoma City is going to try to close out the Phoenix Suns with a 4-0 sweep. My guess is that's going to happen tonight. And then the Nuggets are trying to survive. They're down 3-1 in the series. Anthony Edwards is out. It's in Denver. They host the Minnesota Timberwolves. That'll be at 10:30 p.m. The Marlins do open up a 3-game series in LA. They'll play the Dodgers tonight. And I didn't mention it, but Inter Miami, another draw at New Stadium over the weekend. I don't know if it's the Mel Reese curse, like the curse of the Tequesta, but Inter Miami, 3 games at New Stadium, 3 draws at New Stadium.
They got to get that dub, man. Got to get that dub.
Well, they'll have the Turnpike Derby coming up this weekend against Orlando here in Miami. So
all right,
that'll be the one to do it. Your weather in South Florida right now, it is 84 degrees. Tonight, the lows are going to drop into the low 70s. This weather report was brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com.
All right, Brendan Tobin, midday host, is going to join us to talk about the Riley press conference. He was there, and about the Dolphins draft as well. Before we get to him, I want to tell you about my good friends in the amazing award-winning team at Doral Kia. Whenever you want a low price, you always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. I call Mitchell down there the king of Kias because he hooked us up. The Hochmans needed a new Kia for our son, and he wanted the K4, and we went down to Doral Kia, and Mitchell took care of us, and he and his staff will take great care of you as well. You should follow them on Instagram and TikTok too, because they're funny. But you could take advantage of a Pricito now on all your favorite new Kia models like a Sportage, Sorento, Telluride, K5, Soul, and more. Do not wait. You want to hurry to Doral Kia today. Don't miss your chance to save on a new Kia or shop any of their pre-owned vehicles. The easy financing, fast service, and the best value for your money. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
I've wondered what planet Solana is from lately, and I'm finding out it's definitely not Earth.
Coming